Today's video, I'm going to be talking with David, who is from Czechia. And I'm really excited for this conversation because this is going to be the first time I'm going to be meeting a person who is from that country, Czechia. So yeah, it's going to be a fun, and he's also into English. He teaches business English, so I'm really looking forward to it. What to know more about the way he teaches. Probably I can learn one or two things out of him, and we're gonna talk about the significance of English. Um, like what kind of methods and techniques does he use to impart the knowledge of English. So it's gonna be a fun ride, a roller coaster ride, and like I said, I'm really excited because this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna be doing a podcast with a person who is from entirely different country. So yeah, I can't wait to meet him. Yes, David is here. Hey man,
Hello there.
yes, David. I
Very
was.
nice.
Hmm?
Yes, very nice to see you. Very nice to see
Likewise,
you.
likewise,
It's
man. I was just telling my viewers that this is gonna be my first time interviewing a person who is from Czechia, that country. So I'm really
right.
excited. Yeah.
Yes, I'm really excited as well to speak with you. I'm actually from the UK originally,
Okay.
and yeah, from the UK, and I came to Czechia 13 years ago. And yes, it was, well, in some ways, as a bit of an adventure to begin with. And
Hmm.
then it kind of spiraled into a kind of 13-year-long stay. And I'm still here now, which, yeah, really love it. We're having a
Wow.
bit of a heat wave at the moment, but yes,
Astonishing.
nice.
Yeah. And I wanna tell my viewers that David has been teaching for like 13 years English, business English to like a lot of businessmen. And
Yes.
right? Is that right? I hope that I'm not.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
correct.
Uh,
Yes, 13 years.
Intriguing. Wow. So yeah. Uh, wow. I'm speechless. David, could you tell a little bit about your journey? How did you first get into teaching business English?
Yes, so from the language side, I was always very into languages ever since I was a child. So we used to go on holiday as a child to Wales, which is right next to England. They
Hmm.
have their own language there in Wales, and I was fascinated from the beginning, really. Used to kind of look at the road signs and try to work out what the road signs were saying in the Welsh language. So I knew from the beginning that I had a real passion for languages. And then from there, yeah, I studied French and German language at college, then at university, and that was clearly it was certainly my strongest subjects at university. And I knew that I wanted to do something in relation to languages, but I couldn't really work out what I wanted to do. So after university, I decided to kind of have a bit of an adventure, really. And I came to Czechia here and I took a teaching course, which was a course, it's like the classic TEFL course, which is English as a foreign language. So I did that and yeah, really liked it, enjoyed the idea of it. And that's how I got into teaching. As a UK citizen, it was actually very easy to come to a different country within Europe at the time and to yeah get a job because it was European Union back then, and so that's how it all started really. Yeah, it
Intriguing.
came from that.
And is it demanding subject in Czechia, English?
Yes, yeah, it is demanding because it's like English is a completely different language family. So
Hmm.
the Czech language is like a Slavic language, similar to yeah, Russian and Polish. And so yeah, different language family. A lot of the kind of older people in Czechia did not really study English very deeply, especially those that grew up during the communism era here. So However, for younger people, especially those, yeah, maybe around, yeah, even 35 and under, they normally have a very good grasp of English, I would say.
Really. Wow. And like you have been focused solely on business English for over 13 years. What made you specialize in this area instead of general English teaching?
That was kind of by accident, really. So the first language school that I worked for, we they kind of yeah sent me to some offices in Prague. I started teaching in those offices, really
Okay.
enjoyed it. Yeah, got a lot of good feedback from them. So it went from there really.
Hmm, got it.
It was clear also, yeah, I was certainly more oriented towards teaching adults rather than teaching children.
Yeah,
And
that's what I do. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
so you do the same.
Yeah, I do the same. Like, I've been teaching for like 7 years, and right now I'm completely online. Like, my classes are online based. So I train working professionals and homemakers from different parts of India. And I have few students from Dubai as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. And
Yeah,
so you also specialize mainly in the adults and business
definitely. Yeah,
side.
yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. And you
Yeah.
enjoy it?
Yeah, thoroughly. I'm completely head over heels when it comes to English. And because of that, I feel like I'm getting the opportunities. Like, because of English, I'm in front of you. If I had not known English, I won't be here. So yeah, I guess English has opened, many doors for me of opportunities, and it's quite demanding in India. People are crazy about English. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Huh.
uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Interesting, interesting. And yeah, that's a yeah, great point there that English can just open doors for yeah, for wherever somebody's from. It can certainly open doors, certainly career-wise and travel-wise as well. So
sure, definitely.
yeah.
What are the most common challenges business leader face when communicating in English?
I would say confidence is probably the number one. Um, yeah, I noticed that from day one, really. Even so yeah, even people who had a really, really good, accurate, fluent English, the confidence was still relatively low, potentially due to a lack of practice. And also due to that lack of practice, I think that a lot of people were still thinking in their own language,
Yeah,
which then certainly affects fluency then.
definitely. Yeah. And I want to clear this thing. Like when a student comes to me, sometimes, we have this thing here. I'm not sure if it is over there or not. But here we have like classes or like, courses that claim that learn English in 3 months, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
You have that
when
here
a
as well.
student comes to he wants to join my class, I tell him honestly that I cannot make you a fluent speaker in 3 months because that thing is entirely preposterous. So I want to know
Mhm.
what's your views on it. Do you believe in that thing? Like,
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, it is preposterous. I understand why a course then potentially needs to be kind of packaged into a kind of neat course. But making promises such as that, yeah, I think it's mainly marketing.
yeah,
And I think it only really will leave the student disappointed in some
sure,
way.
definitely. And even I want to know if a student takes the class for 1 year, let's assume that he becomes completely fluent in English. But
Mhm.
after taking the class, if he is not continuing with with the process uh, in terms of communicating in English or reading books in English, and like he is not associated with the language, then do you think that that student will ultimately lose his command over English?
Yes, unfortunately, I would believe that. I think unfortunately, we could say that English is almost or any kind of linguistic skill is almost rented in some ways. So, like, you cannot maintain it without consistent practice.
Yeah.
I find that difficult to I find that difficult to sell to, well, not to sell to people, but to explain at the beginning because it sounds almost like I'm trying to, yeah, to um, keep the student forever in some ways. So I do find it difficult to say, well, this is a kind of a lifelong thing almost.
Definitely.
What are the, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Because English is like, when it comes to English, non-native speakers obviously learn this language. And here, like in India, we don't get the chance to speak in English 24 hours into seven. We barely get the chance to speak in
mm.
English. So if a person who is with me in my class, at least for 30 to 40 minutes is getting that well. But once he even like stops taking the class, I don't think that he would be able to like, have the fluency on his own.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you teach like group classes or one-to-one classes?
Yeah, I take both. Like I teach both of like things, one-on-one classes as well as group classes.
See, yeah. And of course, with one-on-one there is a lot, yeah, they get a lot more practice. Also, group
Definitely.
classes are good as
Yeah.
well. And I mean, there are also those who get very, very little contact with English outside of the classes.
Sure.
Of course, then it's much more difficult to make progress. It's certainly possible to make progress, but
Yeah.
very clear those who were able to get a lot of contact outside of the classes make progress very, very quickly and then are much more likely to maintain, yeah, what they've got.
Sure.
Oh.
How does English fluency directly impact a professional's confidence and career growth?
So I think in any business environment, somebody's appearance and the way that they come across is very, very important. So just the same as like how somebody might wear a suit to a job interview or something like that. So I think English is just one other aspect of that. And if that, yeah, if they start to feel confident that they can reply very quickly and give articulate answers and maybe kind of chip in a conversation in a meeting, I think that goes a long way to yeah, to improving their confidence overall in kind of yeah, expressing their own skills in business as well and their own opinions. So
Hmm.
I think it's a big aspect, really.
Got it.
Um, I would
Uh,
say almost as important as somebody's appearance, really, and yeah, what they wear. I would say.
Definitely.
What would what would you say about that as well? Do you feel that that it starts to impact on somebody's overall confidence there as well?
Yeah, indeed. Like I would say that prior to learning this language, I was, my personality was completely, it was like apples and oranges. I was completely a different person. But once I
Uh-huh.
on this journey, once I started learning English, uh, it changed my perspective. It changed the way I see the world. And I'm not exaggerating if I tell you honestly. I started watching English films. I started watching authentic content. I started reading books. So yeah, it changed my persona drastically. I was not like this prior to learning English. I was doing kind of things that that a teenager would do. I was a complete
Hmm.
wastrel kind of things, but it changed my perspective definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That's very, very fascinating. And I guess there have been studies on, yeah, what learning a second language does to somebody's personality and, yeah, how it develops a person. But I think, yeah, there's absolutely no doubt that it develops somebody's, yeah, character as well and also brain function as well. So,
Definitely. And one thing that I would like to ask personally is like, what one thing is bugging me constantly, like this AI thing. I
mm,
think that AI would eventually replace teachers, and if not, like I feel like from a futuristic like vision, I feel like there might be a day where there won't be the need to learn languages. All the machines would be doing the translations and all. So people won't be learning the language.
That's a very, very good question. And is something I think about a lot, of often through the lens of being very, very worried about what is coming. I think AI will replace humans in terms of writing. So first of all, like I have nobody who requires or asks for any kind of teaching in relation to their written English. So in fact, I think yes, I think that is gone. In terms of spoken English, I still think that teachers will be will be required. I think I think it's very similar to so with, for example, nowadays we, how would I put this? So I think we would still need to learn other languages. Even if, for example, we have an earpiece which can translate and then we can speak back in our own language. So I think number one, I think there is still a barrier to the communication if something has to translate.
Hmm.
And also, I think, especially in the professional sphere, or in fact, maybe any other sphere as well, I think that people will want to show that they are capable of speaking the language themselves, because
Okay.
it is another way that can kind of set them apart from the
Hmm.
competition, really.
Definitely. Wow.
And I think almost very similar in some ways to like a gym, for example. So of course now we don't need to do any physical manual work, or certainly a lot of people don't need to do that, but we still need to in some ways exercise, and people go to gyms and things like that. So I think people will still want to speak.
Hmm.
And I also think that because the reason that they will want to speak a language then is to communicate with other human beings. So I think they would still prefer to have another human being to teach them language.
Really.
Also, I would say as well that in terms of like small talk, which is also part of English language, if you're having small talk with AI and you're asking AI, for example, how its day was, you know that AI has not really experienced the day or hasn't been to the
Yeah.
park or anything like that. So
Sure.
that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's kind of reliving. I never thought from this perspective. So yeah, it's great.
how do you feel? Do you ever worry about it, or do you feel positive or negative about what might be coming?
No, I'm always worried about it. Like I told you that, there would be from my perspective, like I told you that there would be a future where people won't have the, necessity to learn the language itself, because everything would be, this translation thing would be there. If I'm speaking if I speak Hindi, you'll see
Mm.
me speaking English in front of you. So, and if you speak in
Mm.
English, I would be listening Hindi. So that's what I'm worried about. Do you think that's why I asked you that? Do you think the technology can have this kind of impact?
Yes, well, I think potentially some people would be interested in using that. However, it might be considered to be potentially like almost like a lazy, easy way out, and maybe it potentially wouldn't necessarily be. Yeah, if I was a business person or CEO and I wanted to stand out among other competitors who are trying to get a certain role, then I think being able to speak English naturally might be something that would set me apart there, for example.
Got it.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm, yeah. And how do you keep your lessons engaging and relevant for high-level professionals who already have busy schedule?
Yes, so with that, what I do there is so the topics that we speak about is probably one of the key ways that I keep the lessons engaging. I think having taught for 30 years professionals and CEOs, I feel that I know the kinds of things that they want to talk about. There's often things in relation to kind of psychology of business, psychology of success, that kind of thing. We also discuss various kind of startups and kind of crazy business successes and crazy business failures. So I like to, keep to those topics. I mainly teach, so in fact, I only teach really those somewhere between intermediate and advanced level. So their aspiration is to reach that advanced level.
Mm.
And so that does allow me then to kind of, speak. It does allow us to do a lot of speaking in terms of the teaching, because of course they're very, obviously most of these people, these professional people are very, very intelligent. They are very, very quick to grasp any kind of grammar concepts. So normally actual teaching is very much kind of kept to a minimum. They get it immediately, they understand it. So then it's just a case of kind of repeat in quick drills, really. That's that's how I aim to keep it engaging, really, then. So through the topics and keeping certain kind of teaching to a minimum, if you like.
Mm.
Yeah. Um,
Great. And
yeah.
one more thing, David, like when a student comes to me, like a working professional who's trying to crack an interview, so what he tells me that I want to crack this interview. After that, I'm all set, I'm all good. But what I tell, like what my counter argument is, like it's okay that if you are able to crack the interview by cramming up the answers and all, but once you
Mhm.
crack the interview and once you start, having a word with your colleagues and all, they would eventually figure out that your English is not really up to the mark. And like they would know your truth. They would know that you might have mucked up the answers, and that's how you crack the interview. So, like this
Mm.
is the kind of like thing that I tell to my students who are specifically looking for, just to learn English for the sake of cracking the interview. I want to know what's your take on it. What do you feel about it?
Yeah, agree 100%. What I find with most of those students is that they take the lessons in order to crack the interview, and then normally then they will continue lessons after that, and that is normally the hope, because of course it could be a very, very stressful situation for them if they are stuck in that new position, and they realize that their English does not measure up. So yes, we try and I normally tell them at the start, like you mentioned there, so say, okay, so after the interview, it may be, well, it certainly will be worth really honing your overall English, because you're likely to be found out, as they say.
Definitely. Yeah. With globalization and remote work, how has the demand for business English changed in recent years?
Ah, yes. So, well, during the pandemic, work was absolutely soaring. So demand absolutely soared during that time. I think since then, yes, it has certainly increased. I think we're certainly seeing an increase in in the online lessons, and I only do the one-to-one, so certainly an increase in the one-to-one online lessons. I think another reason for the increase is potentially that there is this kind of remote work allows for a little bit more flexibility. So,
Mm.
a lot of students take the lessons during that time, especially those that are kind of CEOs. It's very easy to kind of put lessons just in between other kind of meetings as well. They don't have to find a meeting room or something. So,
Yeah.
say demand has increased actually.
Mm.
Yeah. Have you felt an increase yourself?
Prior to COVID, I felt like there was no concept of online teaching in India specifically. Like there were not
Mm-hmm.
that many classes, and people were even kind of they were not aware about this thing. And even I didn't know that online teaching can be done. But after COVID, everything started, and this online thing came into existence. And now, because of that, I guess it's kind of a boon for teachers like us. Because for me, like I see it as, I can connect with people from different parts of India. So
Mhm.
that's I would say that that's a good thing about COVID, that it started this entire, it was the advent of this online community, online learning. Everything started online work from home, yeah, remote working. So it's a good thing. Yeah, yeah, uh, and
Think everyone I speak to really likes it as well. So people have really embraced this
definitely.
this yeah, remote work. And so yes, so I think I think we'll see this boom for a while, and then
Hmm,
potentially with the advent of AI, I think there will be a decrease, even though
definitely. Yeah.
yeah, I think they'll still need they'll still need kind of human tuition, I think.
Sure. Yeah. And I want to take a moment, and I want to appreciate the background that you have, David. I can see some books behind you. So are you into books as well?
Yes, yes. So I do. Yeah, I do read. Yeah, I do read a fair bit. I like to read a mix of yeah novels and also kind of what would it be? Self-development
Yeah.
books as well. And in fact, well, that is in fact in some ways my role, which is to kind of read and immerse myself into self-development books, and then I use that in my teaching for the CEOs because that's the kind of topics that they like to talk about. Um, Also, being in the yeah in Czechia as well, so I'm trying to improve and then maintain my Czech language skills. So I have a few books up there in Czech language, and so as a teacher of a foreign language, then I need to also well, I try to be a good student as well. Learning Czech and yeah, improving my Czech. So I do appreciate how difficult it is for yeah, for those learning any second language. And I have to say I'm not always the best. Yeah, I'm not always the best student. I can be very lazy sometimes.
Yeah.
And I notice my Czech language skills going up and down
Hmm.
like that goes very, very quickly.
Really. And
Mm.
on a scale of 1 to 10, David, if you had to rate yourself in terms of this Czech language proficiency, how many numbers would you like to give?
Oh wow. If I was really, really honest, maybe I would go down to about a six,
Okay.
maybe maybe even a five. It's been higher. And then yeah, maybe just went for a very busy period, got a little bit lazy with it, and now I'm probably down to a five, very honest. And the yeah, it is the speaking, which is the most difficult there. So yeah, reading's a lot easier and so yeah, so difficult to maintain.
Okay.
So yeah.
Intriguing. And David, if I ever come to Czechia, do you think that I can survive on the basis of, like, in terms of communication, I can survive on the basis of my English, or do I have to learn the
Uh,
natural Czech language?
yes, oh, you should definitely come to Czechia. Yeah, you would certainly survive in English, certainly in Prague, in the capital. It's easy to survive in English. And in other kind of big cities, it is possible to get by in English. Yeah, only really in the smaller villages is where people don't really, yeah, speak a lot of English there. Um, and I think that's only going to get more and more really so. People, especially younger people, their English knowledge is yeah exceptional now.
Okay.
Um,
Apart from English,
yes.
David, are any other languages popular in terms of learning?
Oh, that's a good question. Ah, so with the young people today, I think yeah, because I don't really. That's a good question. So I don't really teach the yeah the young people, but I think yeah I think English is probably still the main one. and then potentially Mandarin Chinese, but I'm not certain about that. And then Spanish and German are often two of the other most popular ones. A lot of the older people, they learned Russian and German because it was under the communist regime. So yeah, a lot of the older people have a good grasp of German and Russian.
Hmm.
So,
Okay,
yes, I think mainly some Chinese.
got it. And what sort of advice would you like to give to the people who are, who are passionate about learning English? A piece of advice from you.
Yeah, I would say to try and make sure that at least 90% of the time that they are really, really enjoying what they're doing. So I think that is the only way that you can kind of maintain something over such a long term. So to try and watch as many, to try and find whatever they're really interested in, whatever their hobby is, and to try and incorporate English into that. So if they like a certain type of films, to try and watch those in English and to try and incorporate it as much as possible into the kind of relaxing time rather than to feel that their English is all about study and work.
Hmm.
I think lessons. So when I'd also encourage them to take some lessons, I would say potentially that they maybe to take lessons with a teacher, and that could be their study time. But then also maybe to find on some kind of platform like there's italki or Verbling, maybe to find some kind of person who for not a very expensive price, but maybe just speak with them in English or in that language. And I think if they had a mix of all of that and made it so that they're enjoying it as much as possible, then I think, it's much more possible then to maintain it over a long term.
Right. Enjoy the process rather than the destination itself.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, for those that are going for job interviews, there is a little bit of the destination. However, if it is however, you also need to enjoy the process there as well. So I think, with everything. Um, that is also why it's quite difficult, maybe well, I mean, we have to set goals, but I think there also has to be the idea that this is also a kind of longer term maintenance process as well as kind of striving to achieve some goal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like going to the gym, like you have to do it on
mm,
regular basis. If you don't do it, you will start losing your muscles and your flexibility. So,
yeah,
I guess English.
that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yes. And the key then there is so someone will go on holiday, for example, and then they come back and then they've stopped going to the gym or they've stopped taking their English lessons. And but if you're really, really enjoying it, then you're much more likely to, get straight back into that when you get back from your holiday there. Um, you mentioned you learned English. Was there anything? How did you manage to keep that going?
Like in terms of learning for me,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like for me, English is ubiquitous. I make sure that it's everywhere. So,
Hmm.
I watch content in English. I try to learn at least one new thing about English on regular basis. And I'm kind of
Right.
old school. So, I've curated 4 books of mine like this.
Oh, wow.
I
Oh,
write
right.
books. Yeah, I don't write on like in laptop or whatever. So I handwritten
Mhm.
notes and all the things, all the materials. So my goal is
Mhm.
like right now, this is my latest book and it's about to get finished. I'm like planning to write the 5th book. So all the materials, tongue twisters, accent reduction, grammar topics, everything is covered in these 4 books.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. I'd love to check those out. It sounds like a really good activity. And also I would say, I guess writing, even though we mentioned that potentially it's a really good way to just enjoy being immersed in the language and having that active application of the language as well.
Definitely. Yeah. So for me,
Yeah.
it's I really note down all the things and have like if I show you, there are some like pages stuck on the wall.
Nice.
So it's full
Nice.
of vocabulary, idioms, everything. So it's
Hmm.
everywhere. Even if I take a glimpse of it, I'll learn something. Or I'll just it helps me in keeping everything in my mind. Recently, I learned
That's great.
a lot of things. I try to jot it down in my books and I stick it everywhere in my room as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I think that's if you're seeing it every day, some ways you're kind of yeah, forced to look at that every day. It's certainly going to go in and stay in there, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
And like I said, I have a podcast channel, so I regularly do podcasts with intriguing and creative people like you. So even at that time, I try to hit two birds with a stone. I get to learn different
Great
things
phrase as well.
and language perspective as well.
Great. Yes, I've seen yeah, one or two of your videos from the podcast. I need to check out some more of those because yeah, some of those yeah, people, it seems like you have quite a wide range of people and yeah,
Definitely.
they've seen fascinating characters there. Yeah.
And on that note, David, I guess the meeting is compelling us to end. So I won't hold you any longer. It
Right.
was
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for having me on, Jen. It's been a yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to yeah, checking out more of your yeah, more of your podcast, and yeah, more of you in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
look
I'll
forward
drop
to
you a
it.
message. I have something, one more thing to do with you, but I'll let you know about that thing. And thank you for your time, David. And we're gonna catch up soon. Take care.
Great, let's do it. Take care. Bye.